Hello everyone, so this is part 2 of the Cooper and Kayluim podcast series. So in this part, in the last part we did the NBA hot takes video, but now we will be doing the NBA division predictions. So we'll be going over all 6 divisions: Atlantic, Central, the South,
Southwest, Northwest, Pacific.
Yeah, all divisions. So I have my friend Kayluim with me.
That's good.
We'll be going over these divisions. And we're going to start off in the Atlantic Division, which is where the Raptors would play. So I'll let my guest start off first with his prediction.
I got the Brooklyn Nets coming out of that division. I also got them winning the whole conference. I mean, it's Brooklyn Nets. I don't really got much to say. Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, James Harden, Blake Griffin, Nicholas Paxton.
It's going to be very hard to beat them unless they get severely injured, which it could happen, but there's too many players for something that bad to happen.
Even if Kyrie gets injured, you got Patty Mills off the bench, who's just a pure scorer. Even if James Harden gets injured, you move Kyrie to the shooting guard, you put Patty Mills on there. Even if Kevin Durant gets injured, they have just their bench depth might not be the best.
And speaking of Patty Mills, did you see him in the Olympics this year?
I did.
He was playing really well.
All Olympic first team. I mean, he deserves it.
Yeah.
So
Patty Mills is a great player. Again, he's definitely underrated.
The Olympics is the Olympics. Ricky Rubio won it.
Yeah.
What's your pick?
So my pick is also the Brooklyn Nets. They are a completely stacked team. I don't see any holes in their team. They used to be a terrible team from that trade of Paul Pierce and the gang, but I think this is a much better version of that team, a much younger version of that team too. They're going to be extremely hard to beat. I don't see how they'd be able to get beat. I think that they might even have a better record than the Warriors back when they had 73 wins.
73-9 Warriors.
Yeah, I see that as being possible.
I don't see that being possible. But that's a different story.
So you see them losing games?
I see them losing games just purely based on defense. But I don't see them. I don't see them losing that many games. But I see them losing more than 9
teams.
They'll purely on defense. I see them losing more than 9 games.
Really, because I know it's gonna be hard, but I see it being pretty possible.
Hey, who knows? Could happen.
So you want to start off with the Central Division?
Yeah, I mean that's it was tough between the Bucks and the Bulls, but I picked the Bulls. Their nickname DeBallzach, DeRozan, Lonzo Ball, and Zach LaVine.
Yeah.
I think that's the new 2015 to 17 Lob City days is right there.
Yeah.
And it's not even like just their Alex Caruso off the bench just providing them defense. I mean, he's really good on the D. Then you got DeRozan, just pure scorer, mid-range shooter only. And then same thing with Lonzo, he's pass first guy, perimeter defensive type guy.
And he can dunk too.
And Lonzo's athletic as hell. And then of course you got, Mr. Light Skin himself, Zach LaVine.
Yeah.
He will just do everything on the ball but play defense.
Yeah, you have a bunch of great at the basket scorers. I think they're gonna be definitely fun to watch. But I don't think they're as good as my pick, the Milwaukee Bucks. They are now the defending champs. Yes, they did win a championship. Kayluim may have to eat that a bit. Any team with the Greek Freak will always have a chance at winning a championship, will always have a chance of winning their division. As much as I don't like the Greek Freak for not coming to the Raptors, I think we should have, but we got the mini Freak, we got Alex, as we talked about in the last podcast. They'll always have a chance of winning a championship, and the Bucks, they have an all-time great on their team in Giannis. I think he'll end up being an all-time great. I know you definitely don't agree with me. But even as a Raptor fan, I can respect his talent, his physical ability. The Greek Freak is an amazing supporting cast around him with Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton, Bobby Portis, PJ Tucker, Brook Lopez. They're all great players, especially Brook Lopez. Brook Lopez is a great defensive player, great scorer, terrific scorer for a center.
Drew Holiday is 36 years old. PJ Tucker is 34 years old.
Yes, they're old, but they're
washed.
But they're led by an all-time great in Giannis. I know you don't like him, but put some respect on his name.
They're washed. Chris Middleton is overrated. Chris Middleton cannot shoot the ball, and the Bucks have no shooting on their team. I'm telling you, Drew Holiday.
Brook Lopez?
Brook Lopez is a center. He doesn't really count. He doesn't even play center. Brook Lopez just sits in the corner like a prostitute.
Chris Middleton is a great shooter too.
Chris Middleton is overrated. I mean,
I know he's overrated, but he is still a good shooter.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I guess. I mean, he has a 40% from the 3 type shooter.
Yeah.
He's not efficient.
Yeah.
He can have a game that he'll score 10 points, and he'll have a game that he scores 50 points, and he has a game that scores 5 points, and a game that scores 40 points.
So you'd rather be a volume shooter?
Yeah. I'd rather him be a sustainable 15-point per game shooter than having him score 5 and then 40 and then 10.
Because
and then 50.
efficiency is about being able to score the majority of your shots, which is 40% of your shots.
But it's also be able to do that every game.
Yes, but it's hard to be a volume shooter and an efficient shooter. You have to pick one. And that's why it's so amazing what Steph Curry has done. Him being efficient and shoots good volume. Also, Dame Lillard does the exact same thing, basically, but not as good as Steph, obviously.
Let's go to the next division.
So our next division, we have the Southeast Division, the good old South.
You can start this one off.
So we have the Miami Heat. The Miami Heat have acquired the all-time, one, in my opinion, the greatest Raptor of all time, Kyle Lowry from Philly. Kyle Lowry, one of the greatest Raptor of all time. The Miami Heat have acquired him, and he will definitely make the Miami Heat a great team. He is a great point guard. And remember, they still do have Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Buckets is a great player. I know he's a terrible personality. He definitely did ruin Andrew Wiggins' career. I'm not a big fan of Jimmy Butler's personality, but I'm going to put respect on his name. I'm going to say he definitely is a great player. Tyler Herro's a great player, too. The Miami Heat are a great team. They also have a great coach in Eric Spoelstra, and I'm sure you can't doubt that.
Eric Spoelstra is an all-time great coach.
Yeah.
But Tyler Hero is 21, 22, and he's already washed.
No, but he's still a pretty good he's still a good shooter.
Yeah, but he's not. He's hit his ceiling, in my opinion. He's already washed.
Really?
Yeah, he's hit his ceiling. But anyway, we'll go to my pick. I picked the Atlanta Hawks. I mean, you've seen them in the playoffs. Got Ice Tray. And I think Clint Capella is a better center than Jokic.
Yeah, Clint Capella is definitely a great center. I've always liked Clint. I've always thought he was underrated. I think he's actually from one of my favorite countries, Switzerland, which is a very good fun fact about him. You don't see a lot of Swiss basketball players. I know he's probably not ethnically Swiss, because normally people from Switzerland are white. Clint Capella is definitely a all-time great, and what did I say with this? Oh my god, I was confusing my my all-time rapper thing about Kyle. But so I definitely do think that Atlanta will be a great team, but I think that Miami will get a lot better with Kyle Lowry as their point.
I think the whole with Clint Capella just coming to Atlanta, and it allows Trae Young to be that playmaker that he usually is, and that pick and roll and the lobs to Clint Capella. And I think that's great. I think John Collins will be out of the team soon. I think he'll go. I think he'll come to Toronto.
Yeah, John Collins, he is a great player too, I have to say. I've always believed in John Collins.
Yeah, I mean
he's from that same great 2017 draft class.
Yeah, if you had to go and say who's the best point guard center duo, I'm taking Trae Young and Clint Capella.
Yeah.
That's what I'm taking.
Yeah.
You can go to the Northwest Division.
Yeah, so the Northwest Division, we actually have an agreement here about the Portland Trailblazers winning. So, as my friend Emad said, Dame time, game time, Dame time, game time. That would be the reason that he would say, but I'm going to give an actual reason. So, the Portland Trailblazers will win the Northwest Division. It's a very easy division, I'd say. Not very hard, but but Portland has an amazing backcourt, and it hasn't gotten any worse. You still got Dame and CJ. Dame and CJ are a great duo. They actually remind me a lot of the Kyle and DeMar backcourt from back in the day. But yeah, I always get like the same vibes of that backcourt. Do you agree with that?
I do have the Portland Trailblazers, but I gotta disagree when you say that it's a very easy division. I mean, they got Utah and Denver.
Yeah, those are hard teams.
And I mean, in Utah, you got the greatest shooting guard in the league right now in Donovan Mitchell, and then again, Rudy Gobert, a bum. I don't even know who he is. Don't even mention his name. And then
Rudy Gobert. If you're comparing him to OG on defense.
And I'm just comparing him as a center against the other teams in the league. He's a bum. And then you got.
I wouldn't sleep on him too much. He is still a pretty good defender. He's defensive first.
And then you got Jordan Clarkson, the 6th man of the year last year. I think he's an amazing player.
Jordan Clarkson.
Yeah, I think it was
the Filipino great. So shout out to my friend Timothy Ballas again. He's actually met Jordan Clarkson before in Toronto. Jordan Clarkson is a great player.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
And then Denver. I really don't like Jokic, and Jamal's coming off a torn ACL, Achilles. I don't really know he tore.
Wasn't it like meniscus?
No, it wasn't a meniscus. I think it was his ACL he tore.
Oh,
and
it was though.
And Michael Porter Jr. I mean, he can't do it all, and he's fourth year now. He can't.
His durability isn't very good either.
But he's not. He hasn't been the first option scorer yet, and he can't do it all, and he's like just trying to like resettle with Pascal, but it doesn't work. I have Portland winning this. I have Portland win this by ease.
Yeah, I think that on your point with Michael Porter Jr., I think that if he was a Raptor, we would develop him a lot better. He would be a lot better, a lot sooner. Because the Raptors are a lot better than any other team at developing players. Even though that Masai was in Denver for a little while, so Denver would know a little bit about the Masai Ujiri way.
It was a younger Masai though.
Yeah.
Let's go to the Pacific Division. We don't agree.
This is going to be the toughest division in the league. I think we can both agree with that. There is a bunch of really good teams.
I mean, you got the Clippers, you got the Lakers, you got the Suns, the Warriors,
all five
and the Kings.
teams are great. Even though the Kings should not be playing in the city they're playing, they should be in Seattle or Vancouver.
I think Oklahoma should just go back to Seattle. That's why.
Yeah.
I think Oklahoma is not a basketball city. Anyways, I'll go with my picks first. I have the Clippers coming out of this.
And guys, keep in mind he did originally have the Golden State Warriors. I just want to make sure we're
I originally had the Golden State Warriors, but I have the Clippers coming out of this one, and like Kawhi tore his ACL last playoffs. But I'm telling you right now, Terrence Mann is going to be first option. He's going to average 23 points a game. Terrence Mann is going to come and ball out, all NBA third team type season. Terrence Mann is going to tear up the league. That's what he did in the playoffs. He teared up the playoffs. He's going to tear up the league. I don't think Golden State Warriors is going to win it, only for the fact that Klay hasn't played in 3 years.
And he'll probably end up hurting something else.
And he is now, he will definitely end up hurting himself. He was supposed to play last year, and he injured himself in practice.
Yeah, in practice. I think he's practicing with Boogie Cousins, actually.
Yeah, and now you see, Wiggins. I don't like Wiggins. And
I'm pretty fond of Andrew Wiggins because I came from his high school. If I didn't mention that, he went to the same high school as me, so I'm very fond of him. I think Andrew Wiggins is a good player. I'm not gonna hype him up too much and say he's he's Maple Jordan and something like that. But
I mean, I do, and then I do have Sacramento being second, and like I said, De'Aaron Fox is gonna be the number 1 point guard in the league. I do have Sacramento coming out of this league, making the playoffs as the 4th seed in the Western Conference.
Yeah,
I do have that.
So you don't have the Suns anymore because the Suns are my pick. The Suns are
36-year-old Chris Paul. That you're gonna pick that.
He's still an all-time great point guard. So the reigning Western Conference champions. Remember, guys, they went to the finals. I have to think they will go on a cold spell at the beginning of the season because they are coming off a short off season after being in the finals. It normally happens to all teams. Look at the Raptors after their championship. But I expect them to come back by the end of the season, midway through the season, be red hot. I think that their backcourt, Chris Paul and Devin Booker, wet like a book. I think that they'll heat up by the end of the season. I think that they'll win their division. DeAndre Ayton's a great center. I think that their team will be great again. I was actually very impressed with them last season. I'm not going to doubt them this season like I did last year.
I'm still doubting the Phoenix Suns.
So you have them third in their division.
I have the Clippers. I have the Kings, the Warriors, the Suns. The I have Lakers coming dead last.
The Lakers with Westbrook, LeBron, and Anthony Davis.
Dead last.
Will they make the playoffs?
No. They will make the play-in tournament, but not the playoff. Westbrook is my favorite player of all time. Don't get me wrong, but he is ball dominant. LeBron's ball dominant. Westbrook never really worked out as a second option.
You could have said the same thing about the Brooklyn Nets, actually.
But we've seen James Harden be able to adapt to not being so ball dominant and being more of the playmaker of the team. And Kyrie Irving, again, like I said, is Kyrie Irving. He's his own type of player. He thinks the earth is flat. He's his own person in his own world.
Yeah, I just can't see a world where LeBron misses the playoffs.
I do. I see that.
I cannot see it.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen one day, and it's gonna be this year.
Yeah, maybe when LeBron Jr. comes in the league, they'll miss the playoffs.
All right, well, let's go to our Southwest picks.
But since you mentioned your full Pacific Division pick, I'm gonna say Suns. Then I'm gonna say Lakers, Kings. Suns, Lakers, Warriors, Kings, then the Clippers.
I mean, I can see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Shout out to my bro Graham Mayer. He's the biggest Sacramento fan I know, and so I'm rooting for your team, man.
Yeah, I think that you can make a good point for any team in that division. All those teams are great.
They're all great. I agree. They're all in the end, especially they're all improving as well. Except for the Lakers, every other team there is really young. Except for the Lakers and the Warriors, every other team there's really young. So there's only improvement.
Yeah, I just can't see a world where the Lakers don't make the playoffs.
I can see where you're coming from. All right, let's go to the Southwest.
Yeah.
I have Memphis Grizzlies, and the only reason why I have Memphis Grizzlies is because of MVP Ja. He's going to win MVP of the league in the 2020.
Yeah, I see you're coming from. They do
season.
have a great pick and roll duo of him and James Wiseman, big pick at Wiseman.
Wiseman's on the Warriors.
Crap! Who's that center I was thinking about?
They have Steven Adams now. They got rid of Jonas Valanciunas.
Or who's that?
Jaren Jackson Jr.
Jaren Jackson Jr. That's who I confused him with. Sorry about that.
That's all good.
So him and Jaren Jackson Jr. They are still a great pick and roll duo. Dylan Brooks, great player, Canadian.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I see where you're coming from with that, but I'm not going to put the Memphis Grizzlies. As much as I think they're good, I think that the Dallas Mavericks are going to win their division, led by Luka Doncic, Kristaps Porzingis, being the international duo, and Tim Hardaway Jr. I think that they will win their division. I think Luka is a great player. The Slovenian, great. I think that they are a great team. I think Mark Cuban will be so happy seeing them win their division. I don't think they'll win the championship. I think that's not that possible. I don't think that's very likely. But that's my pick.
I can see where you're coming from. I just don't think Kristaps Porzingis is going to do anything on the Mavericks this year.
Well, it's mainly going to be Luka leading that team. Because Luka is a great player.
But we've seen that that doesn't lead them to championships. We've seen the Warriors super team. We've seen the Milwaukee Bucks. They didn't win a championship without getting Drew Holiday. We've seen that with the Cleveland Cavaliers having Kevin Love, LeBron James, and Kyrie. We've seen that with the Raptors, Kawhi Leonard, Freddie, Pascal, Lowry. We've seen that with so many teams, and the same thing with the Miami Heat, LeBron, Wade, Bosh. It's not gonna having Luka lead your team to what? Nothing. To the first round exit. It's not gonna work with just Luka. Yeah. And Kristaps isn't the option either. And neither is Tim Hardaway Jr.
But they'll probably end up getting a player at trade deadline. Because I can see Mark Cuban getting really hyped about his team and then wanting to acquire more guys at the trade deadline because he wants to get more tickets. He wants to have more wins. More wins equals more tickets.
I think Ben Simmons and Tingus Pingus are the same type of player. They belong in Shanghai.
You just call Kristaps Tingus Pingus?
Yeah, that's his name, Tingus Pingus. I mean, bro looks like, he's
Tingus Pingus.
Yeah, Tingus Pingus. Yeah.
I think the people on TikTok like that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
He was a good player coming out of the draft, and he was a good player for the Knicks.
Pingus.
Yeah, one-time All-Star, but he's nothing in Dallas.
Yeah. So do you think that the ACL injury probably ruined his career?
Oh, 100%. And we did see glimpse of him being like, oh, this is the Tingus Pingus we know from New York, the All-Star of 2017.
I can't stop laughing at that. Tingus Pingus.
I hate the name Kristaps, but yeah, that's my takes, man. That's my takes.
So now let's go over who our pick is for the NBA championship.
That is tough, man. I can see. Okay, I'm gonna put Brooklyn in the finals.
I'm gonna go with the same.
And I'm gonna have Brooklyn playing Memphis in the finals.
Really?
Memphis or Sacktown in the finals.
Yeah, it's not happening. I think the refs will rig it to make sure that it's not a small market team from the West.
So who do you think it's gonna be?
I think it's gonna be them playing the Blazers. And it'll be Brooklyn versus Trailblazers. I think that Portland's too good to not make a championship for once. I think they need to go to a championship, and I think this might be the year. I don't think it'll be the Suns again. I think that may have just been
a fluke.
Kind of like a fluke. Yeah, so they might have another early exit in the playoffs, but they are going to win their division in my opinion. But I think that it will be Portland. Dame's too good to not make a championship for once in his career.
I think if Memphis makes it, Memphis is going to win the whole thing. Like I said, MVP Ja. And if Sacramento makes it, Sacramento is going to win the whole thing. I think in the finals, these three players have Kyrie Irving, James Harden, and Kevin Durant are going to get into their own heads and be like, no, I'm going to take the last shot. No, I'm going to take the last shot. I'm the clutchest player. No. Sacktown has that one ball dominant.
No, but who's going to defend all the players on Brooklyn?
Marvin Bagley and Kevin Durant. That's a good matchup right there. Tyrese Halliburton and James Harden, amazing matchup. Kyrie and De'Aaron Fox, two of the fastest players in the league.
I don't see how Memphis will win that.
That's for Sacramento. For Memphis,
sorry, I meant Sacramento. I I'll say the Sacramento will win that, and also I think the refs will make sure it's a big market team, because the refs want to see a big market team, because Sacramento is not a large market at all.
No, it's not. Neither is Memphis.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think this will be the first year where we see a real I mean, Milwaukee is not a big market either. And they won.
Yeah, but they have Giannis.
And Memphis has MVP Ja.
Yes, they do.
So we both have different picks. That's who I think it's gonna be. I know it's kind of out there, my picks, but
yeah, but we'll remember that. And we actually said before the show that we were going to make a bet about whoever wins. We will be doing a public humiliation on the other person, on the person who has the least amount of picks. So we will do who has the best out of the 7 picks, meaning all the divisions plus if they can get a finals team. Yeah.
I'm down for that, yeah.
Yeah. So expect to see a video in when will the finals be?
In April.
Yeah, in April with us doing public humiliation of the other person. It is April this year? Because I know that
it was
late.
It was October last year.
Yeah.
I think it's April this year.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember Adam Silver saying he wants to get back to it.
Yeah. So we're gonna say bye to all y'all. We had a great show. It was great letting you guys meet my good friend Kayluim. Hopefully, if you guys like hearing his voice, we will have him again.
Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah.